Let's see. All right. So, okay, we are ready. Let's get this going. Let's get this party started. All right. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for.
Hey, Maria and Jay.
Let's get this party started. All right. Thank you for joining us. Episode number 3 of Trail Talk Live. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy Trail Tuesday. I hope everybody's doing well. Everybody doing great. I hope everybody was able to get some good training miles this weekend. Real quick, thank you to everybody that showed up to our training run on Sunday. A lot of people came. Very successful. Thank you so much. We didn't expect to have that many people come over. We had close to, 50 people?
Yeah.
According to Shani, she said that we had close to 50 people, between 45 and 50, according to her stats. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. It really means a lot. Really, really means a lot every time people show up and, just spend some time with us. So today, the subject for today is give and take / helping others. So before we get started, we just want to say, we just want to express how we feel about the tragedy that took place on Sunday. Not to start on a sad note, but I think it's very important that we recognize what happened. So let's give a moment of silence to all those people that lost their life in that tragic accident on Sunday. It was 9 people, so just a quick moment of silence for them. All right. Well, with that said, thank you so much again for joining us. And that is one of the reasons that inspired our subject for today, which is helping others and give and take. So just to get things going, helping others was inspired because of a lot of the things that we heard in the last couple of days, how much Kobe Bryant helped a lot of people with their dreams, and a lot of people, to get ahead and in life with their goals and aspirations in many ways that were not out in the spotlight. One thing that caught my attention was this one guy that was talking about how he was about to have a surgery that may or may not be successful, and he may or may not survive. And the day before the surgery, Kobe just showed up out of nowhere. No media, no cameras, no entourage, no publicity, none of that. Not trying to make it a public appearance, none of that. Just there to support. Never met the guy, never had any previous contact with him. He just went to give him moral support and say, hey, you know what, you can do this, and you'll be okay, you'll be all right. And that inspired the subject for today, because it's just so many things that we're hearing in the media, so many great things that he did, and so many great things, not only him, but all the others that lost their life. But it inspires to think, like, how are we helping others? How are we inspiring others? How are we giving back to everybody? So life is not just gimme. You have to also give back, right? You can't just take, you got to give back as well. So just to bring it back to our community in a way, I want to bring up 3 different examples how we can all give and take, and how we can all help others. First and foremost, volunteering. Volunteering. A lot of us do little things here and there um, to help at races, but I don't want you guys to think that only races are the only place where you can help and volunteer. You can always tend a hand to somebody else. Like if you hear somebody talking about, oh, I want to do a long run, but I don't want to do it by myself. I don't want to do it alone, or I want to do a night run, but I'm scared to do it myself. If you have done a night run before and are a little more comfortable, that's one way that you can give and take. Again, that just help out. You never know. Sometimes that's all it takes, just to say, hey, you know what? I'll go with you. I'll go with you. What day do you want to do it? Something simple. Life is about balance, so it's very important that we give and take as well. What other sample do you have, Tony?
I think it's important to, as we become more experienced and more confident in our running, in all aspects of life, but particularly running, that we don't forget where we started, and that at some point we all had to learn how to run. No one is born with the ability of running ultra distances or even a 5K. Some people don't even have the ability to run a mile at a time when they first start. So it's important, in my opinion, to always remember that and be willing to help others, not just by giving them support, but helping them guide themselves, and giving them some of your own guidance. I know that when I first started running, I didn't know anyone who ran. It took me years to find someone to run with, find a group to run with. Initially, I started running just to lose weight, and I would go out and run. For me, what I thought was a lot was running 30 minutes at a time, which is actually
a lot. It's a lot. Don't get it twisted. It is a lot.
But when you compare me struggling to run 30 minutes, and now knowing that I have the ability to run almost 32 hours continuously, it all kind of comes into perspective. So whenever I see someone that is just getting started and doesn't have a whole lot of experience, I don't look at them as any less than where I am or where he is or where some of my other peers are. I see them as an opportunity for me to be able to give back by helping someone else get to a further level, whether their goal is to run a 5K. I recently had one of my very best friends that I've known my entire life. His name is Kyle. I don't think he's watching right now, but if you are watching, Kyle, shouts out to you. He reached out to me towards September, if I remember correctly, and told me that he wanted to run a 5K on Turkey Day. He wanted to do our local Turkey Day 5K. And at the time, I was really heavy into my own training for the race that I had in November. So I didn't have a whole lot of time to be able to dedicate to going out and running with him side by side. His schedule is also a little bit different than mine. But at the very least, I was only a call or a text away with any guidance that I could have possibly provided for him. And I promised him that on the day of the race, on Thanksgiving, rain or shine, and it actually ended up raining that day, heavy. Even though the race was going to be early and that was actually my only day off for the week, I promised him that I was going to be there, and that I would go out to support him. As we got closer to the race and he was getting a little bit more confident about being able to go the whole distance, again, 5K, to us that doesn't sound like much, but for someone starting out, that's a challenge.
Yeah.
He asked me if it was foolish for him to set like a time goal. I told him no. Again, I let him know if it were my first shot at any distance, I would probably say I'm just going to go out with the goal to finish. But hey, if you feel very confident about it and you want to go out for a time, then let's do it. So he asked me if I would pace him to run under 25 minutes for the 5K. So I let him know that, as a brand new runner, 25 minutes is kind of a challenge to run a 5K. But that didn't discourage him. And I didn't put it in a way that was going to discourage him either. On race day, we went out, we started running, and I pretty much told him, hey, if you really want to hit that goal, just stick with me. Don't let yourself get too excited as you see people passing you or falling behind you. Just stick to me, and I will keep us right on pace to hit the goal that you want to hit. So luckily, he trusted me, and we were able to do that. He finished his first 5K in just under 25 minutes. He got his first medal, and he was super happy. And that gave me...
I was going to say, how did that make you feel?
That definitely gave me a lot of inspiration, because it took me back to my early days. I've been running now for about... I guess this is my 8th year of running. But for me to even be able to get to the point where I could run for 25 minutes continuously without stopping, took me a heck of a lot more time than it took Kyle. I think it wasn't up until about
it took me way more.
6 months of me running almost every single day before I could run 30 minutes continuously. So it brought back some good memories to me, and it really put into perspective how far I've come since 2012 when I first started running, and it definitely made me want to do more for others. The joy that you get from seeing someone else crack a smile because they just achieved their goal, the ecstatic look on their face, it's priceless. So
absolutely, that's for sure. That's the best part about helping others, that sometimes you are a little hesitant because it's gonna take your time, it's gonna take some effort, some energy, and we all have jobs, we all have things to do, we all have family, we all have a lot of responsibilities nowadays, but I think that makes it more rewarding, whenever you actually are able to help somebody, that something that is not going to be for you at all. It can be simple, it not even just related to running, but just in general. Sometimes something as simple as, you have a cart full of groceries at the store, right? And then you see the person behind you maybe has just one. And it's not going to be a big deal if you let them go. It's going to take extra minute. But just the fact that you can say, oh, okay, go ahead. Something simple as that. Super simple. At the end of the day, I think we all have the opportunity to make the world a better place in our environment, our surroundings. Couple other samples that I have. I want to give three different examples. I guess that we started with the exterior example, right? Like you can give your time volunteering, helping another person, somebody else. But going back to the give and take analogy and subject, I want to talk about yourself also. You gotta give and take your body what your body needs. So sometimes we get excited. Sometimes we get very into our training. Sometimes we get this adrenaline rush that can last days and weeks, and just riding this big adrenaline rush or in training, and you feel good and everything, and you're just running or working out, and you are not paying attention to how much you sleep, what you're eating, how much you are recovering. And one day before race day, everything just comes crashing. So I wanna talk about that a little bit. If you just which I made the same mistake myself, and I'm sure many others out there have done the same mistake and have heard other people do that, or you see them on social media, you see them at the run groups, you see them on Strava, and they're just go, and you see like, man, this person's fast, because every time you see him at the start, and you never see him again. They're gone. I used to make the same mistake. Tony used to make the same mistake. Every run we used to do was like, try to run faster, and the next day faster, and the next day faster, and like, oh, I did this many minutes per mile. Okay, tomorrow I gotta do better. Tomorrow this and that, and that's how I ended up getting injured, burnt out, super tired. After, a few days and weeks, I didn't want to get up to go to work, and I didn't want to go run. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to eat and eat and eat. And then I fell into the trap. The mentality was like, oh no, I got to suck it up. I got to do it. And it's just a trap. And it just keep, going back to the same thing. So I made that mistake for a long time. Luckily, a couple of years ago, we started looking at things a little different, and we started actually like giving ourselves, right, like a little more time to recover, a little different type of training, not just like go all the time, because we're hurting, we're just, this guy's 10 years younger than me, and with that, my joints, my knees, my legs are 10 years older. So, me trying to keep up with them every time just was not working, So it's like, then the concepts came, like all the concepts, like, you know what? You got to do slow runs. You got to do recovery runs. You got to give yourself some time, some rest days. It's not like just because you're like, oh, hey, Tony, let's go. You said we're going to go today. And that's one thing that we have an unspoken agreement, I guess you can say. We can plan a 10-mile run, but if either one of us had a long day or we're just not feeling that day, we are learning to listen to our body. And that's part of the give and take relationship that you got to have with yourself first and foremost, because believe me, the other way it doesn't work so well. I tried it, and I ended up getting hurt, burnt out, super tired. I was being not efficient at all, not just at work, but just in life overall. And also, I can see my training, my abilities, and everything just kind of, at one point, just get stagnant and just kind of start actually going back. Because I was just constantly sore, constantly hurting, constantly not feeling like pushing after a while. And, again, you get in that trap in your head. It's like, okay, no, I gotta go. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. And that's, unfortunately, you can only put out so much effort, so much, you can only take so much from your body. That's the part that internally you gotta give yourself. It's okay to rest. It's okay to take a rest day. It's okay to go slow. Because our schedule, we don't really do a lot of the everyday group runs out there that we used to do, but it's also part of that. Part of, okay, today I need to go this pace. Today I feel like going that pace. Today I think I'm gonna take a rest day and not worry about, oh, so-and-so is gonna show up. Oh, I told this person I was gonna go there. Oh, well, I'm usually there hanging out. That's a big part of the give and take. What else, Sonny? What else do you wanna? What other sample you have? Give and take.
I guess my best example that I can give you from a personal standpoint comes down to managing stress, because for me, I take on a lot of stress every single day of my life, even when I'm not working. My job itself is very, very stressful, and I usually work from 6:30 a.m. to about 6:30 p.m. at night. Not only that, but I tend to take on a lot of personal projects and a lot of projects with Anytime Runners. So even though I'm having fun doing a lot of the personal stuff and a lot of the Anytime Runner stuff, it tends to be very stressful when it all starts piling up. When I work 12 hours and then I need to go home and make sure that I make a post for Anytime Runners, or that I plan some time with, let's say, my girlfriend for the weekend. Not that I don't like doing those things, but sometimes when I'm trying to do everything all at once, it gets to be hard to manage, especially when at the same time I'm trying to train for races, or let's say something that I've been working on recently is build a website, or enhance my cooking skills here and there. It's all fine and dandy, but at some point you have to give yourself the excuse, or however you want to put it, to just slow down and take a rest day.
Yes, absolutely.
I actually do believe in rest days. I know that there are a lot of people that don't believe in rest days, or that have different definitions of rest days. I tend to have different definitions of rest days too. Sometimes a rest day can mean for me to just go out for a walk or a hike, or do like a short, easy workout. Or sometimes a rest day could mean I turn off my phone and I go to sleep and I don't wake up until whatever time my body decides to wake me up the next day. And then I stay in bed and watch TV, watch movies as late as I possibly want until I finally get out of bed. Sometimes you just have to give yourself that opportunity to reset.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're just not going to move forward. It's the same way as if you didn't have aid stations in races. You're going to keep grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding until you're completely depleted out of food, water, energy. And at one point, you're just going to crash. And you're going to lay there. And you're not going to be able to get up.
And that's where you don't want to get to.
And they're going to have to send a chopper for you.
Yeah, unfortunately. And yeah, just like our friend Caesar is saying, yeah, definitely. And we're actually talking to somebody this weekend. What day was it? Saturday? Yeah, Saturday night. We were talking about a couple different things with somebody, and we're saying it's important that you give yourself the recovery time and sleep. Sleep and recover properly. Again, give and take. You can put all the miles you want. You can run 100 miles a week. But if you don't allow yourself to recover, it doesn't matter. It's just like when you're driving your car. You can put pedal to the metal and then run it until it's dry. If you don't put any more gas in it, it's not going to go anywhere after a certain point. It's going to reach a point and that's it. So it's very important. Just like on racing, like Tony's saying, you give and take. Again, you gotta know where and learn yourself. Not just on race day, but every single day. And I think it's more important on the daily than on race day, because race day is race day. Race day, if you're prepared and you're confident and you are feeling strong, the magic can happen as long as you're taking care of yourself, right? Again, give and take. If you're putting more effort than your normal, you gotta fuel. You gotta drink. You gotta eat. You gotta get those calories in. You can go as far as you're fueling. So again, give and take. Stress management is so important. Sleep, nutrition, mental, just like our friend is saying, it's super important, because again, going back to the car, you can put the pedal to the metal until it runs out of fuel, right? And you got to learn yourself and see what it is that what's gonna bring you back to the happy medium. Another way of giving and taking is just not just race day and running part, but also relationship wise. It can be your relationship with your loved ones, with your friends, with your colleagues at work, all that stuff, which, believe it or not, I mean, many of you know this. I mean, I'm not saying anything new, but again, just little reminders of things, One way to manage your stress, which is going to ultimately affect your sleep and it's going to affect your training and all that, is to be able to give and take in all your relationships, especially at work. For example, anytime somebody's asking for help and you never want to help, you never want to cover somebody's shift, for example, people that work in that kind of setup, but you're always asking for days off, you're always saying, oh, I gotta go, oh no, I can stay late, what's gonna happen, right? You're not gonna have a good environment at work. That's gonna cause stress. It's gonna cause you, to not recover properly. All these little things. This is a chain effect. It's stuff that we don't think about that affects us, but it really does. It really does at the end of the day. Another example of give and take can be something very, very simple. Just hanging out with somebody, for example. Simple as, you know what? You got it last time, I'll get it this time. Tony, I got the Topo Chicos last 2 weeks actually. So Tony got him this week. And guess what? He's gonna get him next week also. So give and take, right? Give and take. And ultimately, whether it's something simple, at the end of the day, it makes a big difference. What other example can you give us, Tony, of give and take or helping others? Something that, you don't think makes a difference, or that you heard before, but actually does make a difference.
Well, I guess I would like to take a little opportunity before we bring our guest on, because we have a guest. She has a lot that she can tell us about a project that she's working on right now to help others.
Yes.
But I guess when I think about helping others, and the best way for me to be able to do so currently is by putting in work through Anytime Runners. So if you don't already know how Anytime Runners operates, if you've never been to one of our runs, we don't leave anybody behind. So anyone that shows up to an event with us and for us, although we're really doing it for you, I want everyone to know and feel confident that if anything were to go wrong, if anything were to happen, we have your back. we do it all for the runners, and we do it all for the community. And that's the biggest way that I feel that I can help others at this point. I spend a lot of time organizing the events that we put together. Then Gus spends a lot of time going out and either cutting up ribbons so that he can go and post them up like he did the Sunday. He started way before we started running so that he could mark the course. Then actually went and ran more miles while we did our 22 miles so that he could then come back and sweep the course after the last runner had gone by. So he actually ended up putting in 30 miles of not just
crazy
course marking, but also course sweeping. Shenny and Corey are huge on helping every runner as they come in, make sure that they get water and food in them right away so that they're not totally depleted right after their run. Because the truth is that a lot of our runs are not easy runs. They're very challenging. And in fact, we've had some people tell us that they have to train with us. But, I mean, you wouldn't want it to be easy, right?
Exactly.
Nelson,
challenge you, it doesn't change you.
Nelson, he's our fifth lead. There's 5 of us total. Nelson, I love him because he will pretty much do whatever else we need him to do. So he's kind of our floater. If I need him
Nelson is a trooper.
If I need him to sweep, he'll sweep. If I need him to go out and lead, he'll lead. If I need him to be somewhere in the middle, he'll do that. Or even just giving people high fives on the trail, cheering them on, making sure that everyone gets around the route carefully and safely. That's a huge help, and we appreciate that. Not only that, but it helps us when you guys come to the runs and tell us what we can improve on as well.
Which again, part of the give and take relationship, right? It's suggestions, questions, all the love you guys show us all the time. That means a lot. Thank you so much. And also every time people come, and they bring whatever it is, bananas, water. Thank you, Ismael. He brought us a bunch of jugs of water on Sunday. Julio brought bananas, and even if you don't bring something, just you coming and spending some time with us and bringing a good attitude and willing to give us a couple of hours, sometimes more than a couple of hours of your day. That's very rewarding. Again, beer, so actually, yeah, we did have some beer. We did it, somebody else did. But, anything, again, give and take, give and take. We're all a big community, and that's what's great about it. And, yeah, Julio.
This past Sunday was actually really special, too. In fact, the thing that I was probably most grateful for, and that really inspired me, because I try to gather at least some little bit of inspiration from every run that we do. But this particular run, we had a local legend, and that is probably even downplaying it. Ruperto Romero come out to our run on Sunday. A lot of you guys know who he is.
If you didn't know who he is, now you probably know.
Yeah.
It's the guy that started with everybody and you never saw again.
You can look up his record on Ultra Sign Up, but probably his biggest achievement has been being a multiple-time winner of the AC 100, the Angeles Crest 100, which Anytime Runners is working to get involved with as well.
Yes. That's another project coming up.
We had him in our run, and that was amazing because so many people wanted to talk to him, and he was more than willing to give people his attention and his advice and spend time with them, whatever they wanted to talk to him about. He was more than willing to do that. But at the same time, we had someone who came to our run who had literally never stepped on a trail before and wanted to take on the challenge of our 22-mile run. Actually ended up being more like 23.
Oh. Sorry about that.
And
trying to wave at people.
This person actually had only run previously, I believe, 16 or 17 miles on the road at a slow pace. Eric. But he didn't let that stop him from coming out to our run and going out there and putting in the work. So, to give you a little bit more contrast, you had Roberto, who has run 100-milers and won multiple times. And then you had one person who had literally never stepped on the trail before, and they both went out. They both ran the same miles, the same course, different times, but that doesn't matter. The fact that our sport and our runs allow that different pedigree of runner to get together and be able to learn from each other, then, that is huge for us.
Yes, definitely.
So,
you know what? And the best thing is, okay, so I'm gonna touch on that real quick, just because time is flying and we still got to bring our special guest today. Real quick, I went out and marked the course. I went out probably 30 minutes before everybody else did, and I knew he was going to catch up to me. I knew he was coming. So I was just trying to mark and go as fast as I could. And it was really foggy and misty. And I was like, just looking back. I'm like, I know he's coming. Sure enough, about a mile before we got to the turnaround, here he comes. And again, the whole give and take, people, it was, I was trying to do my best job marking to the minimal impact on the trail, because that's one of the things that we take pride of, to make sure that we don't affect the trail. So this guy, he took the time to say, thank you, you're doing a great job. And after that, I tried to keep up with him for like half a mile, but he dropped me like a bad habit. With half a mile, he was gone. But yeah, just real quick, that's he didn't have to. He didn't even break stride, to be honest, but he didn't have to switch his bottle from one hand to the other to shake my hand as he's going and say thank you for marking the course. The guy knows the route. He knows all the trails around here like the back of his hand. But again, just give and take, that relationship. It's part of our community, and I want to say thank you so much to Roberto for coming and everybody. Yeah. So now we have our special guest, Emilee. How you doing, Emilee?
Hi guys, good. How are you?
We are doing great.
Awesome.
All right, so everybody, Emilee right here. She is our first female guest.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yes, first female guest ever. So you're going on the wall of fame. So thank you so much for joining us and giving us some of your time today. Real quick, I don't want to run out of time and then cut you off. So let's just get right to it. We know that you are running LA Marathon, right?
Yes, this will be my 4th year running LA Marathon.
All right. Wow, 4th year. All right. So
yeah.
Everybody knows LA Marathon is a big challenge, really big challenge. So what is special about this year compared to all the previous years that you've done it?
Well, okay, so kind of like backtracking to what you guys were talking about giving back and incidences that have recently happened. It's really made us kind of refocus and think about how grateful we are that we get to wake up every day, and as runners we get to actually run long distances, short distances, and then also help other people. So this year I have decided to actually represent the Special Olympics.
All right.
Marathon. Yeah. So
Nice.
I contacted the main director because the Special Olympics is worldwide. And so we have the Special Olympics Southern California section. And they actually are working with Conquer LA in the LA Marathon, and they are trying to fundraise enough to support 4 athletes that will be accomplishing the LA Marathon this year. And they are Special Olympic athletes. And the way that I came about this is my job I'm really passionate about besides running. And I am a pre-K special ed teacher for the public school district. So I work with kids from 3 to 5 with different abilities. And I just want to show my families and people that everybody has an ability to achieve their goal, no matter what it is.
That's awesome. Listen, I always tell people that taking care of somebody with special needs takes a special kind of person. So my hat's off to you for doing that. Thank you so much.
Well, I love it, and running helps a lot, so I can get a lot of that energy out from work.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But the great part about this, so after talking to the main director and then also talking to Shani, who we all love dearly,
Yes.
We came
Shanae.
Yeah, exactly. We came up with doing a shakeout run the Sunday morning before LA Marathon, because as we all know as runners, everybody should be doing a shakeout run and they'll be tapering down for the LA Marathon. And we decided to do part of the LA Marathon route. So it's still in the works. There's the details we're still hashing out, but we're thinking of doing a 10K. So we'll be starting from about mile 26 on the actual LA Marathon route. And then we will be finishing near the potential finish line for LA Marathon.
So Sunday before LA Marathon. So
yeah,
the week
and it'll
before.
be March 1st. Mm-hmm.
All right, so March 1st. So everybody mark your calendars. March 1st. We're all joining Emilee on the shakeout run.
Yeah, 7:30 a.m. is the meetup time. We'll have a raffle going at the end to fundraise more money. And there will be a lot of really cool prizes.
All right.
Also, the way that I explained this to the Special Olympics director and then their organization was, LA Marathon is huge, and it really shows how much the LA running community is represented. And there are so many different running communities in different cities that get together and they really support each other, whether it's your first time, your 100th time, if you're 15 in SRLA, one of those programs that the students do, or you're 89 years old and you've done 50 of them. Everybody's out there trying to finish it, and everybody's out there as a community supporting each other. And so when I told her that we should really try this shakeout event, that I think it'd be amazing because you'll really truly get to see how supportive LA is and how many groups there really are. So I'm hoping all those running groups will come out that morning and, come support. Even if you don't run, even if you feel like a 10K is a little too much, do as much as you can. Any kind of support would be amazing.
Yes. So March 1st, everybody.
Yep.
Again, going back to giving and taking, helping others. This is a great way. She just said it. Even if you don't want to do the 10K, which, for most of us is manageable, right? But you can do 5K. You can just show up and show your support. I think that kind of attention also brings more awareness. But not only that, I think in a way it also helps those programs stay in place when they see interaction in people. Another way right there, how to give and take and help others. Just, if you're not running the marathon, maybe just head out to the event and cheer everybody. I see a lot of parents, and I don't have kids yet. Hopefully one day I do. But that is one thing that I always notice every year, that there's always at least one family that I notice that is out there with their kids, and they just go and buy a bunch of oranges or bananas or something, or even ice when it's hot, and they give it to the kids so they can hand it out. I mean, in my heart, that's probably the best thing you can teach your kids, not just your kids, but somebody else. You can bring a friend or something.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
even
that's
signs, high
awesome.
fives. There's people
Yes.
from the community that don't really even know what the LA Marathon is, but they're out there supporting people because they see that it, you know, they're working at it. And that's like the best feeling you could ever have, is to have some random person out there just saying, you got this, keep
Absolutely.
going.
Absolutely.
So that was also the idea.
Especially in the later miles towards the end after like 18.
Yes, yes, definitely towards the last few miles. You really need that. But yeah, so everybody should come out. It'll be great. If you guys want more info, it's on Facebook. I created an event. If you go to my Facebook page, if you just type my name in, or I have my link in my bio of Instagram if you guys want to donate because you can't seem to get there. That'd be great. I have a fundraising goal of $1,000. I'm really trying because it all goes towards getting shoes, uniforms, maybe even transportation for the athletes, but it all goes 100% towards the event for them. So
that's awesome. That was gonna be my next question actually. How can people help if somebody can't make it out to the run, but maybe they're interested? Hey, you know what? I'll do, you know, $5, $10, whatever it is, right? Every little bit counts. So there is, guys. So link in her bio. Also March 1st. What about like if somebody just shows up to the Shakeout Run and they want to give you maybe like some, you know, cash, whatever change they have, can they do that as well?
Absolutely. So at the end, the raffle, the whole idea behind the raffle is to buy a raffle ticket.
All right. Okay.
You know, get a raffle ticket, 1, 5, 10. See what we could raffle off and what you could win, and all that money will go into a jar, and all the money that we collect will go towards fundraising for the special athletes. And I'm hoping, from what I heard, some of them will actually be coming out and partaking in the event as well.
All right.
Nice. Amazing. So you guys will get to meet them too, which is pretty good. And I just want to say thank you guys for having me on here, and thank you everybody for watching. And it really means a lot, because not only is it the support in the community, but for me personally, it shows my parents of these 3-year-olds that they really have every opportunity in society to do whatever they want. And that right there means a lot. So I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Again, that it takes a special person to be able to do that kind of job, and that's something very respectable. So thank you for doing that. That is something that maybe we don't think about on the daily. And you know, again, we're in the subject of helping others, and I mean, that's I can't think of a better example of helping others than that, you know.
Hey, our community is pretty amazing. The LA running community is pretty amazing. We support. I mean, look at Anytime Runners. You guys are always out there with smiling faces and high fives and telling us we can do it, even though in our head we're like, I don't know if I can.
But you do it.
I feel it's huge. I don't know. You know, example, Sunday, right? But it was awesome.
Which you did great, by the way, because by the time I was leaving the turnaround point, there was a section that we could see straight down the trail. I mean, it looked like it's right there, but no, there was actually about a mile to get to that point. So I was waiting for the last person to come and so to start sweeping. And they're like, oh yeah, there goes Emilee and Peluches. And I'm like, oh, okay. But never caught up to you guys, so you did great.
Thank you. No, we never saw you. You know what, though? I have to admit, when Tony saw us towards the end, and I'm like, a mile. I have a mile, because I was looking at my watch. He goes, so like 2 miles, you'll be done. Don't worry. It's only 1 more. And I went, no, because I was really counting on that 1 mile being it. But you know, it's mind over matter, and you just gotta push through. And plus, it's beautiful. It was foggy, but it was beautiful.
Yes, it was.
I think that brings up a good point. Don't underestimate those last 2 miles of the Sean O'Brien course.
No
matter what distance you're doing.
After the creek, you can't just melt it in after that. You still got a couple rollers to go. That
just if the mountains really want you to know who they are.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
They really want you to know. So
absolutely.
It's not gonna be easy.
Yeah, they don't. I think they get steeper on the way back for some reason every time. Every time I go by.
Agreed. It can, I think that we underestimate it sometimes, just a little bit.
Yes.
That's what's special about it, though.
The support and finishing and all the wonderful snacks and how everybody's just super happy and cheering you on, it makes it worth it every time. So.
Well, thank you so much for coming, because again, every single one of you that show up and everything, it means a lot. And again, going back to helping others and giving and taking, everybody comes in with a great attitude, and just sometimes having somebody saying hi, that smile, or just that quick high five, that can help you make it to the end. Not just in a race, even on a regular run, sometimes, again, we underestimate sometimes the distance or the course, and we end up, I don't know, just losing everything towards the end. But yeah, sometimes just having that little interaction with somebody, helps a lot. So many ways to help others, guys. Many ways to give and take. Let's see, anything else?
Yeah. So last thing, I guess if you weren't at the run on Sunday, what I want to tell everyone, the whole reason that we had the run on Sunday was not about what we were doing, which what we were doing was going out for a long run, 22, 23 miles, Gus did 30. It wasn't really about that, because we all already know what running is like and how tough it can be. It was why we were doing it. The reason that we were out there on Sunday and that we worked really hard to get as many people out there as possible. Like I said, we had one guy who has so much experience and is an elite level athlete running next to someone who had absolutely no experience running on trail. But he's working very hard to become a better athlete, was so that everyone could make at least one new friend that day. I personally had the pleasure of making many new friends, and honestly, that was the best part of the run on Sunday. But the reason for that is because I know just how valuable it is to have the ability to run into someone or see a familiar face when you're out in the middle of a long race, and the big boost of energy that can come from just seeing their face and hopefully giving your that person a high five, telling them something nice, and them having or them returning the favor and saying something nice to you. Those things honestly are what will keep you going through a race. So that was the reason that we really wanted to gather everyone together, was for someone to come out and make at least one new friend, meet someone new that they will at some point inevitably see during the race. There's a lot of out and back sections and a lot of loop sections. So if you came to the run on Sunday and you're doing the race and you see someone that you met on Sunday just as you're passing each other, or you catch up to each other.
Hey, I saw you, I remember you.
Just, hey, tell each other some nice things, help each other out. That's what it's all about, is helping each other out.
Yes, give and take, helping others, guys.
Keep one foot in front of the other and get each other to the finish line. That's what it's about.
All right, so we are probably about 4 minutes away from timing out. So thank you so much, Emilee, for joining us. Thank you for what you're doing every day. Again, it takes a special person to do that kind of job and to have that kind of patience and that kind of mentality. And there's no better example to helping others than what you're doing. The only other example I can think of is probably like a paramedic. Literally. I mean, what you do every day sets people for life, so just like a paramedic would, when somebody is in some type of emergency, right? So thank you so much, Emilee. Give us the info again for the fundraiser for
Yeah, so the Shakeout Run is going to be March 1st. It's Sunday morning. We're meeting up at 7:30 a.m. And it'll be a 10K, but again, walkers, runners, however far you can go, the distance, Just come out, even if you want to cheer on, it'd be great. And then we'll have the raffle at the end. Yeah, and it'll be part of the LA Marathon route.
Beautiful.
So
there you have it,
kind of
guys.
get a preview of it if you've never ran it before. Which will
Yes. And what about the donation part?
Yeah, so if you can't make it out, if you look in my bio, I put the link there, and that is my fundraising page. And you can donate $1, $5, however much. Anything is helpful and supportive, and it all goes back again to the special athletes, so they can accomplish their first, their 5th, their 10th LA Marathon. And it would mean more than I could even imagine if anybody would like to support in any way they can. And guys, thank you for having me on. I was super nervous at the beginning.
Nah. This is for everybody. This is again, this is our way of helping others and doing little things. Again, just like we say every time, we're not experts. We don't know a lot more, but we are here to share whatever experience we had in the past and others. It's an open forum. So thank you so much for giving us your time today, and thank you so much for everything you're doing. And we'll see you March 1st. Everybody put in your calendars, and we'll all go and run with Emilee.
Yeah, come on out and let's show them what the LA community is all about.
Yes.
Community, super supportive. Thank you guys, and have a wonderful night.
So much. You too.
Okay.
Night, everyone.
Bye.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a couple minutes before we time out. Again, helping others, give and take. Every little bit counts, every day. If you make it a goal to at least once a day do something simple that is for others, not just for yourself, it gets addicting. The more you do it, the easier it comes, and the less you think about it, and it's just that energy that comes around, right? It can be something simple as just picking up a piece of trash. We're big ambassadors of leaving the trail cleaner than what it was when we got there. What I mean by that is every time we're out there, right, we see a little bit of trash, a little gel wrapper, some gum wrapper, anything like that. Just, pick it up, stick it in your pocket, stick it in your pack. It doesn't hurt. It's not going to slow you down. It's not going to kill your PR. It's not gonna weigh you down, and just something simple. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you to all the groups. Thank you to everybody. Eric, buddy, thank you so much for coming and being a trooper. And thank you to all the leads for all the groups. Mikey, who else? Wappa Boys,
Lightning Runners, Wild Mountain Runners, New Basin Blues, Team Romero.
Yes.
It looks like we're going to have Roberto on